Now to that historic Supreme Court decision legalizing same-sex marriage across the land, and it's profound. The 5-4 vote, in many ways reflecting the huge societal shift of the last 20 years. The president saying today there are days like this when that slow, steady effort is rewarded with justice that arrives like a thunderbolt. We'll have all the celebrations across the country and also hear from those left disappointed by the decision. But first, let's get to the court and our justice correspondent, Pete Williams. Pete, set the scene for us.
Lester, good evening. It's the most important gay rights ruling ever, and it's the culmination of decades of legal battles. It comes from a Supreme Court that just 30 years ago said gay people could be punished as criminals.
A huge cheer, then singing as the decision reaches the crowd out front. The historic ruling struck down the bans on same-sex marriage still in effect in 14 states, all of them in the South and the Midwest. It was already legal everywhere else. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote the 5-4 ruling, joined by the court's liberals. The right of same-sex couples to marry is part of the liberty promised by the Constitution, Kennedy said, which grants them equal dignity in the eyes of the law.
After the decision was announced, the crowd seemed to grow, people wanting to celebrate and be closer to the Supreme Court.
Couples who fought the bans in Kentucky were ecstatic.
It's been a long path for us in our 33 years. We know that people have been fighting this fight for decades.
Pam Yorksmith and her partner battled Ohio's ban.
For us, this started out as a dream to add my name to our son's birth certificate.
James Obergefell wanted to be declared the survivor on his spouse's death certificate.
I know in my heart that John is with me today.
Each of the Supreme Court's 4 conservatives filed a dissent. Chief Justice John Roberts said the couples made strong arguments rooted in social policy and fairness, but such a decision, he said, should rest with the people, not judges. Justice Antonin Scalia called the court's reasoning a threat to American democracy. If he had written the ruling, he said, I would hide my head in a bag.
And we hope that this decision today will not be used as an excuse to ostracize, to demonize, or to punish people for holding views contrary to what 5 of the 9 justices said today.
Massachusetts in 2003 was the first state to permit marriage for gay couples. Others followed slowly. Then a rush of court rulings in the past 2 years brought it to 70% of the nation's population.
People don't have to hold their breath as they cross state lines and worry they're going to lose their marriage and lose their protections as they do.
Today's ruling settles the issue of same-sex marriage nationwide. It could be undone, but only by a constitutional amendment or by a future Supreme Court that changes its mind, and neither of those seems at all likely. Lester?
Pete Williams.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.